Have you ever wondered what makes bodies tick? Are you creating the sexual reality you desire and require? Would you like to know more about what else is possible with bodies? What if your fantasies are not as strange as you thought they were? What if you could learn to be kinder to your body and kinder to others' bodies? Would you like to create confidence in the bedroom and beyond? How has your sex life, or lack of it, affected other areas of your life? Have you lost your mojo and wondered where to find it? Everyone has the potency to be a sexual superhero. Get ready to listen, sense, and play with the sexualness that is you. Now, here is the host of The Pleasure Zone, Body Whisperer, Milica Jelenic.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and I normally don't announce the date and stuff of this show, but it's Halloween, and I'm very, very excited to be having a Halloween show because my shows have not fallen on the day of Halloween before, so this is very fun for me. And in the tradition of Halloween, I had to go with something spooktacular and scary, full of fear and fright. And I think one year we did something that was more entities related, but it wasn't exactly Halloween. So yes, we're going to get devilish tonight and have lots of fun with that. For those of you who are totally brand new to listening to A to Zen, welcome. For those of you who are brand new to the Pleasure Zone, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad that you are listening tonight or today, whatever time you happen to be listening to this show. We talk about sex on this show. I know, isn't that crazy? For those of you who are afraid of sex, this is a great episode to listen to because some of you are actually afraid of sex, and that's okay. What if we can kind of get through that? Maybe things will change for all of us. If you are somebody who loves bodies and just really loves listening to all things about copulation, bodies, joy, and sex, you're in the right place. And sometimes we have stuff to get over first. And it's not necessarily getting over it. It's more like acknowledging it and then choosing something different. So without getting into analytical terms, it's kind of like getting over it. So for those of you who have some stuff that you are aware of that is maybe limiting you from choosing the sex life that you would really like to have. And, this is going to be a good show to kind of get through that and change some of that. So there are a lot of fears. There are a lot of fears with bodies in general. So even people have some issues around touch. There are lots of people who have fears of, spreading diseases through touch, or breathing or whatever. So we've got, antibacterial this and antibacterial that, and, you could live in a bubble if you like. You could wear masks all the time if you like. It's a choice. And what if you didn't have to live in fear of bodies? What if you could start to acknowledge the amazing capacity your body has? Now, all of us at some point, I'm sure, have had something, cold, maybe chickenpox, something in our lives that we didn't think so much of it, probably had them as kids and we're like, oh, body, not feeling the greatest. We might have had people running around us and wearing masks and doing stuff that actually increased our fear. Now, were we afraid of the disease, or were we just maybe like, whoa, those people look scary in those masks? Sometimes we have this stuff, and it could actually be associated with things that had occurred in our past lives even, where we start to get fear of bodies and touch and intimacy. So there's a lot of things that can be contributing to maybe the fear level. And one of the things I'd like to also talk about is I do a lot of work in the umbrella of Access Consciousness, which is tools for consciousness that are just phenomenal. And one of those tools is the Access Bars. You can take classes in it. You can have sessions in it. I do both. I offer both. And also, in those classes and sessions, you gain tools for more awareness. And one of the things that through Access, I have started to become more aware of how fears are really something that we have chosen, possibly created. I'm not going to get into the technical terms of access, but literally when we start to acknowledge that we're utilizing these things to limit us, we can, acknowledgement's like one of the first things. And then when we start to become more and more aware of it when it's showing up, and then we can go, oh, wow, interesting that I would create that energy. What is that energy, and can I change it? There hasn't been an energy yet that's come up that I haven't got, yes, I can change it. It's not always right now. Sometimes it's like later on I can change it. However, I'm pretty aware that everything is possible. And if everything is possible, everything is mutable, everything is changeable. So a lot of these things that are fears, now some of these things that I'm going to be bringing up today are things that I've done some research on. And some of the topics are like myths that have been debunked. And some of the myths that have been debunked are ones that are, they're saying, yes, this can happen. Now, why can things happen? Because everything is possible. That doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. So this is just creating awareness. And then, if there's an energy that comes up when I'm talking about these things, get that energy, become aware of it. Don't hold on to it. Just become aware of it. And then if that energy ever shows up in your life, you can be like, oh, that's that energy of what she talked about on that show. Okay, would I like to choose that? Would I like to choose having my penis break? No, but I'm aware that if I choose this, I'll have the energy of my penis breaking. Okay, I'm not going to choose that. So the beauty of like awareness is that we can become aware of energies and then choose or not choose them. And choosing or not choosing them is with no point of view, like I'll choose to do something sometimes that may not be the most expansive thing in the world. However, when I choose it, it's not to beat yourself up over the head for your choices. It's to go, interesting, I chose that. Okay, now what else is possible? So a lot of fears that we have are things that we kind of trap, or so-called fears, we're going to call them so-called fears on this, are things that we have literally like trapped ourselves with. Phobias and stuff. People are funny, like, say for example, phobias of spiders, which my husband says he's not afraid of them anymore, but he used to be. So it's interesting and cool that something's changed. So phobias, for example, of spiders. What if you're actually not afraid of spiders? What if you're really, really aware that spiders are maybe aware that you want to kill them or get rid of them or relocate them, and they're like, I don't desire that. You're picking up their energy, and then you're going, I don't desire that, but you don't have anything in context to reference it to, so all you think of is, I'm afraid. And that just gets repeated and repeated and repeated. So I'm just, bringing these things up so that you guys, can start to get that maybe even some fears around sex are maybe not yours. What if you're really aware? You could be picking up on the person you're with. You could be picking up on the collective society, religious beliefs, cultural beliefs, cult beliefs, all kinds of things that could be influencing your maybe lack of joy and ease with something. So, what people would call fear. So I had all this really, really funny stuff that I found. There's a lot of fears. There's a lot of fears that seem really quite common, though. So we're going to kind of talk about a few of them. And if any of you guys have fears and you'd like to kind of look at them, maybe change them, maybe choose different, have more awareness on them, and you're really like, I don't know where to do that or who to go to, please go to my website, milicajelenic.com, MILICAJELENIC.com. Contact me, send me a message. We can hook something up and we can start to change that. So I love facilitating change for people with their bodies, with their lives, with anything going on in their minds that is like, stopping them in any way, that is one of my greatest joys. So please contact me and we can look at some stuff. So I know for me, and this is not like maybe a fear that everybody has, but I really don't desire having more children. My daughter is amazing. I have one child and pretty full. Like my life is really full right now, and every once in a while I'll tap into the energy of, okay, body, would you like to be pregnant? And it's like, no. So one of my fears, it would be like having a baby right now, that sex would lead to a baby, even if it's a 1 in 1 billion chance that it could happen. It would be like, baby. So for some of you out there, that might be true for you too. For example, men, if you're having sex with women and you're just like in it for the fun, you're not looking to have a lifetime commitment to a child. The thing is like when we do have these fears, we will create interesting energies around them. So as much as I'm not pregnant, my body looks pregnant a lot of the time. And I really don't desire having a child, it's kind of hilarious what that brings up in my world, with people who will comment on it and go, oh, you look really pregnant. And I'm like, no, not pregnant. That's no. And then my body keeps looking pregnant. It's adorable. And maybe, just maybe, I could create some awareness around that. And, all the distractor implants that I have in place around, the distractor implants, especially of fear that I have in place around pregnancy, if I literally just start to go, I destroy and uncreate all of that times a godzillion, right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, all night, shorts, boys, and beyonds. For those of you who are new to this show, new to these programs on this station, please check out theclearingstatement.com. I'll use it randomly in my shows. This show might have a lot of them because there's fear, and there's a lot to clear around fear. So anywhere that I have any distractor implants holding pregnancy or my body into the state of pregnancy or looking pregnant, I destroy and uncreate all that times a godzillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So you can literally do this clearing for all the fears, things that are coming up, that I'll bring up. So you can go, for all the distractor implants holding, sexually transmitted infections in place, just try and uncreate all that, everything holding them up, because sometimes your body will have these like reactions or kind of like visually appear to have this stuff, you might go into panic mode, look up everything possible on Google, which will only reinforce your fears because Google's amazing for that. Like keywords on Google searches are amazing for reinforcing any fear you have about your body, about illness. And so if at all you like doing research like that, you might find that you will just like fill your head with more and more craziness, and you just end up on this crazy little wheel like a hamster running wild and trying to get away from your thoughts. So if you are finding that your head is this jumbly mess and has lots of fears in it, what I find personally is getting my bars run is an amazing tool to start to change that. And what the heck is that? That's 32 points on your head that when gently touched will start to release crap loads of limitations. That's about as easy as I can put it. Again, you can go to my website and check out more info, or accessconsciousness.com. You can find me on their website as well. I have all kinds of stuff in the works, classes and sessions and everything. So, and if I'm not in your area, and look it up, go on accessconsciousness.com, and you will find a practitioner in your area more than likely. And if there isn't, take a class and be the first, because why not, right? What else is possible? So, so the fear of STIs is really, really huge. Huge to the point where people are creating them in their bodies like at a rapid speed. So when we come back from this commercial break, we will delve more into fears, starting with STIs.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. Would you be willing to explore what has already been introduced as sexual practices on this planet? What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution? Taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation. By tuning into the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a2zen.fm.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
This is the Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call us in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255-TALK or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask for comment by email by sending to Milica at milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and tonight's topic is Spooktacular Sex. This is it's spooktacular because sometimes things get a little spooky for people. There's a little bit of fear coming up, and in celebration of Halloween, we're just going to talk about some fears. So whether they are fears that are kind of broad-banded fears or things that are really personal to you, some really broad fears are things like STIs, and this was talking about before break. Now, you might have heard them referred to as STDs. We're getting politically correct on this show, calling them sexually transmitted infections, because that's what the doctors are calling it these days. They're infections, not diseases. We don't like lack of ease. We like infections better. So that's why we're going to call it that. So I don't know if I energetically asked you guys, do you have a fear of getting an STI? I'd say 95% of you are going to raise those hands. If you're in a long-term relationship, the thing is, bodies actually hold things dormant for years, right? So if your body shows an STI, it can actually be detrimental to your relationship and to your life and all kinds of things. So, unless you have a partner that's actually aware and is aware that, maybe you're, not cheating on them, but your body has had this in that for, ages and stages of it for ages, then you can actually kind of go, okay, cool. Now what is this? What can I do with it? Can it change? What can I do to change it? So, even if you're in a long-term relationship, if you've had more than one partner in your life and that partner had ever, even if your current partner has never been with anybody and you've never been with anybody, guess what? You can have stuff transferred over to you from birth. So the fear of STIs is kind of it can be really big. And at the same time, most people have some form of it in some degree. Whether it's genetically or anything like that. So it can be something that's passed on both genetically, from parents to child, especially mother to infant. can be stuff that's, in homeopathy, they refer to it as miasmic, so it's something that's passed on more like through the DNA. So, STIs in many different forms, whether they are physically showing up in the body or whatever, can create a lot of trauma, can create a lot of fright, fear, and for the person who has it and for the partners and people around them. I think one of the greatest fears, that especially in the late 80s, early 90s, when AIDS was just being changed over, the name was being changed from gay-related disease to autoimmune disorder or HIV, two different diseases, by the way, which a lot of people don't know. Those are, things that are on the rise, and they're huge, and they're things that people definitely have a lot of fear around. Now, is it fear that is going to change it? Not necessarily, because even, they say even like using condoms, that'll keep some stuff away, but truly, guys, awareness is your best friend. So asking questions, becoming familiar with energy, becoming familiar with your awareness about you reading energy, so that you can be aware of a body, your body, others' bodies, and not create that. So not choose it. If, your body is around a body and it's like got alarm bells going off like, no, don't do this. Listen to your body. Your body's your best friend. Your penis and your vagina might be screaming yes, yes, but every other part of your body is like, no. Your penis and vagina might be screaming no, and the rest of your body screaming yes, yes. Because they got to be in line with each other. They both got to be like, yes. And also ask questions, even when your body and your genitals, together are in alignment and agreement and saying, yes, still please ask questions. Because they may not be asking for it right then from that person. It could be, in the future. So always ask questions like, hey, is now the time for this? Even if you have an erection, guys, doesn't mean you got to stick it in her. Just because it's ready doesn't mean it has to be used. Baking a cake, just because the cake came out of the oven and it's ready, and you made it for a birthday 2 days from now, like, you don't eat the cake now just because it's ready. It's for 2 days from now. Eat it when the time is for the time. Do you know what I'm saying? So treat it like it's cake. That's all. I don't know how else to describe that to you guys. I think a lot of people too, so, I'm not going to delve into the STIs forever. People are aware of them. I hope you're aware of them. If you're not, I have done some episodes on that. I think I actually did one called Sexually Transmitted Ease, and then there was one on sexually transmitted diseases about 2 years ago. Please have a listen. And if you do have questions, please have a chat with me. Also, other than STIs, like, what else could people be afraid of? I think there's also a huge fear of being rejected. You get in this very intimate situation with people, with their bodies. You're naked. There's vulnerability going on. You might not have a level of comfort with your body. Essentially, you're rejecting your body and projecting that energy at your partner. And in essence, what you're projecting at this person is the energy they're going to project. They're going to pick that up, and they're going to then sort of like be that for you, right? So if you are projecting at them insecurity, I don't like my body, this isn't, and you're complaining about your body, unless you have a partner that's very aware and doesn't buy your crap and your lies, and they're just like, I enjoy your body, will you get over it? Will you choose something different? If you have a partner like that, kudos to you for being an excellent chooser, and acknowledge them for their kindness, and acknowledge you for your wisdom and knowing for choosing that partner that will assist you in having less fear of being rejected. So the rejection part is really like ask, am I being rejected truly, or am I rejecting me? Am I rejecting my body? Am I rejecting my genitals? Am I rejecting my sensuality, my touch? Am I rejecting my capacities here? We can be rejecting so many things that, and we're projecting that energy out. What does that mean? It's like a projector is like this, thing we use to put images out there. So we are literally like projectors that they use in movie theaters, and we put that energy out there. And people see it, just like as if you have a movie being projected off of a projector in the movie theater. You're going to see that energy of that movie. And so we are like those projectors putting that energy out there. People will see it. So I encourage you that if you feel or a sense of rejection with a partner, or a lover, really ask, like, okay, is that true? Are they rejecting me, or is it something else? What is this? Am I rejecting me? What else is possible here? Because really we project so much and we reject so much of ourselves that it's just crazy. Without having you go into a whirlwind of, oh my God, they don't like me. I thought I just had great sex, and why don't they? Oh my God, my sex must be awful. Now there's another fear people have. They have a fear that their sex is awful. And for those of you who have ever listened to this show before, you'll be aware that in my life, I had a partner, or one partner specifically, that pretty much told me sex with me was awful. Yet they stuck around for 9-10 years. Kind of ironic and weird, but apparently sex with me was terrible and awful and boring and whatever. So I'm like, oh, I really started to buy that was true. Thought I absolutely sucked in bed. Just thought I was like, why bother having sex if I'm that bad at it? So I literally, between taking an austerity to not have sex, because I thought I'd just become more religious at the time, I figured, well, this is a good time for it. I suck at sex anyway. I might as well just take an austerity with it. And between that, then something woke up in me when I met my lover husband now, who actually allowed me the space and the ease and give me the kindness to stop rejecting me. And every day I stop rejecting me a little more, and I stop projecting all this crap that's not even true at him, so that he doesn't have to pick it up and then play the no, you're really great game with me, and it doesn't come up anymore. So we don't have to play the game of, no, I feel like my boobs are small, and he'll be like, no, they're great. I actually haven't said that in a really long time, because I don't even get that is even a thing in his universe. It wasn't even a thing in my universe. I thought it was. For from the time of puberty till I was 40 something. I thought it was a huge deal in my universe. And it's actually not, which is so weird. It's such a weird experience to have this thing that I thought I really was rejecting about myself for a really long time, and have it be yeah, that's not even true. So it's so bizarre when you finally get awareness and then you change it and you're like, wow, that wasn't even true. It's adorable and funny. So another thing that people have commonly had fears about is being with a partner who will refuse to use any kind of protection. No, I can't maintain an erection if I use a condom. Well, then, oh well, see you later, Chuckles. Because their name will always be Chuckles if they do that. So, and is it even true? Will they not be able to maintain an erection if they have a condom? I think sometimes it's more they can maintain an erection for 2 minutes, and by the time you get the condom, put it on, the erection's gone. That might be true. So, yeah, stop lying to yourself, stop lying to each other. And by lying, I mean acknowledge what you are doing and choosing and creating, and maybe not do it anymore, so you can have a more fun and expansive relationship, even with yourself. stop buying the lie that condoms don't work for you guys and gals. Like, what if they can? It's just like, what if hand cream works for you? It's like you're putting something on your body. Ask your body, would it like it? And if it would, choose it and ask your body to work with it. So when we come, we're going to head off to another fantastical commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about other kind of fears and looking at them. And let's change some stuff when we come back.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. Would you be willing to explore what has already been introduced as sexual practices on this planet? What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution? Taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation. By tuning into the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a2zen.fm.
What if there's nothing wrong with you? What if you're far greater than you've ever given yourself credit for? What if it's time to know the gift and the contribution you are to the world, and to like yourself a lot more? Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago, I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. Asking questions opens doors to infinite possibilities. And it's not about finding the answer, it's about being the question. Always. What I'm inviting you to step into is something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Newton, Da Vinci, Gandhi, Picasso, and Aristotle all knew to be true. What if no question is too big or too small? What if anything is possible for you? What if together we could create a kinder, gentler, happier world? Is now the time? Go to beingyouclass.com and sign up for a free video series, My Gift to You. beingyouclass.com. What if you, truly being you, are the gift and change this world requires? beingyouclass.com.
This is the Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call us in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255-TALK or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask for comment by email by sending to Milica at milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic. So as we were in commercial break, I had some thoughts about fear. So, I wanted to also let you guys know. So fear, it is a distractor implant, but sometimes ask, like, what is this energy? Because it can be excitement. So you may be really excited about something and you may not actually be afraid of it. Sometimes you're really, really aware, and that's kind of like your body's way of saying, hey, you're aware. Ask what this is. And now, choose in the direction that works for you. Like, a lot of times it's an energy that is an awareness. So that is kind of my segue into, women and men having the fear that their no won't be heard. There's a lot of online dating going on, meeting strangers in dark alleys and all that kind of jazz. And when people are choosing that, you're kind of going on the whim, and you really are having to follow energy. If you're meeting somebody you've never met before, you're going on a date, you're potentially having sex with somebody you have never met before, you know nothing about. You don't know if they have STDs. You don't know if there's 10 of them showing up. You don't know if this guy is a rapist murderer or this woman is a rapist murderer. You don't know any of that. So you really, really require being fully aware, fully awake, fully present, so that you can, tap into the energy of what is showing up. Getting totally drunk on these dates is not going to allow you to be very present or very aware. And, I know that sounds like a bit of an ass kicking, but I'm saying if you'd like to be aware and look after your body, especially on the very first date, please be sober, be aware, and be present. Can't emphasize that enough, because you know what? If you are too drunk to even say no, even though your body is saying no, be present enough so that you can say no. If you're in a foreign country, learn how to say no in that country. Find out if it's even valid in that country that rape exists, because there are a lot of countries where it's not even a thing. People don't even believe in it. It doesn't happen according to certain countries. So being fully awake and aware can certainly contribute to having your no be heard, and actually not even having to put your body in a situation that requires you to have to say no. Right? If you are aware of it in advance, that it's like you're going on a date and you're like, oh, okay, this girl's going to ask me to have sex with him. My body is saying no. Don't go. It's that simple. Guys, it's that simple. It's not like brain surgery here. Even, I suppose, for brain surgeons, brain surgery is simple at times. But if you are aware enough, you can be like the brain surgeon going in for brain surgery, and just like it's practice, 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 and then you become very amazing at it. So if you are aware in advance that you are walking into a situation where you are going to have to say no and you need to get out of somewhere, just wondering why you're going there to begin with. Okay? Just ask questions. And ask your body too. Please don't go to conclusions on anything. Like, maybe you've been pulling energy from the universe, manifesting. You might be doing manifesting boards or vision boards or something. You might be pulling energy. You might be doing access tools instead. And things are showing up. Maybe you got 5 guys desiring going on dates with you. Just because somebody's showing up, that doesn't mean the universe is giving you, quote, the answer, right? So because somebody's showing up, ask more questions. Hey, universe, does this match the energy of the questions I've been asking for? You might get like a no, and the universe might be gifting you this so that you can get what is a no for you. We assume the universe is always giving us exactly what we've asked for, and it's not that black and white. It's not that cut dry. So no's are something that you can be aware of in advance. You're like, okay, if I go on a date with this person, will I desire saying no to sex? Yep, okay, cool. So would you still like to go on the date? No, yes, whatever. Choose it. Choose what is light, because even you might choose to say yes, and it's totally cool because that person may desire to have sex with you, and they will honor your no. And if you get that they won't, don't go. It's that simple. Don't go. I would sing you a song, but my daughter was crying today listening to me singing, crying, laughing, and going, how can you sing that bad? Although one day I will sing an entire show for you guys, but I'd like ratings, so I'm going to have to practice before I choose that. So, that along the same lines as the no is like feeling pressured into doing something you don't want to do. You show up and the guy's got a dungeon all set for you, and you got the chains and the whatever, and your body's like not interested in that. Or, your body's doing the vanilla thing and your body's doing the let's get hardcore thing. Again, asking and checking the energy will certainly contribute to knowing that in advance. The more you play with the questions, the more awareness you will get. And heck, you could be somebody who's more into the dungeon and they're very vanilla, so that doesn't work for you either. So ask. That's my recommendation. Ask a billion questions, get a billion awarenesses or more. So the thing is, if you have your own back and you are following your awareness, would you ever feel pressured into anything? Would you acknowledge that whatever it is that you are engaging in is your choice? Would you also acknowledge that whatever you're engaging in, not only is it your choice, it will create awareness for you? And do you require that awareness? Do you already have that awareness? Can you walk away? What is it? There's so many things. So moving right along to a few more fears. Well, we're going to talk about some more bodily function fears. Things like penis is not working, vagina's not getting wet, farting, peeing, pooping. Like, people have interesting fears, and we're going to address the bodily function fears in a couple minutes when we come back from this commercial break.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. Would you be willing to explore what has already been introduced as sexual practices on this planet? What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution? Taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation. By tuning into the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a2zen.fm.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that, when run, assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bar session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
This is the Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call us in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255-TALK or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask for comment by email by sending to Milica at milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and tonight we're talking about spooktacular sex. Not spectacular, spooktacular. This is where we have fears and all kinds of wonderful things that show up. And whose are they? What are they? Are they distractors? Are they excitement? Are they an awareness? So many things that fear can be for us, that energy that we call fear. So we're so freaking cute. So, we have bodies, don't we? I think we do. If you guys are listening right now and you're on the internet or downloaded it somewhere, chances are you have a body. If you're listening to this in the ethers, chances are you are an entity or a ghost. Fabulous, because it's Halloween. Love it. I hope the ghosts are listening tonight. When you come back for a new embodiment, choose to be more aware. Choose more awareness. Awesome. So, what kind of crazy, crazy things can happen to bodies when you have sex? Crazy things, I tell you. I don't know. Hands up, everybody who ever farted when you had sex. Yeah, like over 70% of you, I swear, just went, oh, hell yeah, I farted during sex. One of my best orgasms ever involved the greatest fart I've ever had. That isn't true for me. I have farted in, whether it's pussy farts or whether it's bum farts, body farts when the bodies come together and make those great fart sounds when you're all sweaty and they make those suction. Love those. Probably they were more frightening to me when I was younger. It's like, oh my God, please body, don't make a fart sound. And it was like a fart sound came from every frickin' hole in my body. And I think what comes with a little experience, maybe comes with a little no point of view, but those fart sounds, man, they happen. So, if it's followed by a smell, are you willing to laugh at it? What if farts don't have to horrify you to the point where you're like, I'm never having sex again because every time I do, I fart and it's embarrassing? So we have a rule in our house, and maybe you guys can adopt this rule. And actually, Mike was laughing at me the other day because I was eating lots of cabbage. He's like, "You're looking for kisses, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I am," because we have a rule that if I fart, I get kisses. So I'm creating a T-shirt called "Cabbage for Kisses," and only the people who have ever watched this, listened to this show, are going to get that I get kisses every time I fart. So naturally, cabbage for kisses. And so what if you can actually have fun with it, and it doesn't have to be disgusting and rude and funny and weird. Every once in a while, those farts come out, and I get kisses. Mike's like, "You just wanted lots of kisses tonight, so you made chili, didn't you?" I'm like, "Yes, I did." So, okay, we're not your average couple. We're a little different, but that doesn't mean you guys can't be a little different too. Have fun with it. How much fun could you have with it? If you have bladder control issues and you happen to pee a little or whatever, what if you just tell the person in advance? Guess what? Got a little bladder control thing going on. Can we just cover the bed in some plastic? Maybe a little oil. Let's turn this into a Mazzola party. Which I heard about from my friend in high school whose father was Brazilian, and they throw Mazzola oil all over plastic and slip and slide all over the place. Mazzola party. Make it happen. Add a little pee to the Mazzola. I don't know, but because you're going to clean up a mess anyway, you might as well clean up a big one. So if you know your body has that tendency, go for it. Sometimes that pee is not pee. Sometimes you can be having one of the big O's, that G-spot orgasm, that A-spot, that Z-spot, that XKY elemental P spot that nobody's found yet except for me. That XK elemental PY spot is phenomenal. It's called, but that's a secret. That's for another show, so you'll have to listen to the XK elemental PY show when that comes out. So if you're going to pee and you know it, maybe pee in advance. Just empty that bladder. If you literally have no control and you pee all the time, let the person know so they're not alarmed. That way it kind of gives you a little ease, a little less fright during the situation. Sometimes sex can be really intense and in different angles, can get your bowels going. One of the things I highly recommend is if you're on a cleanse, because people are doing lots of cleanses these days. Sometimes cleanses get stimulated by, your bodies are already pooping a lot from cleanses probably, or peeing a lot. You might be on a cleanse. Sometimes adding sexual energy to that cleanse ramps it up. So your body might just have a little woo, a little extra zip to it. And so if you are feeling like that poop coming on, and you really don't want to poop on the person. Now, some people are into that. I'm personally not into that. If you're with somebody who is into being pooped on, go for it. But might want to tell them in advance, hey, I'm on a cleanse. And they'll be like, what is that supposed to mean? Can I still put it in your vagina? You're like, you can put it in my vagina, but if I jump up and I go to the bathroom, don't follow. It's not going to be pretty. Just let them know. And if you can't laugh at yourself, who the heck can laugh at you? Who the heck? You know what I'm saying? It's that saying that I can't remember right now about laughing at yourself. Laugh at yourself because we're funny and our bodies are funny. The other funny thing, my body, so I fart when it happens. Not every time, but farting happens, man. And especially when you're eating cabbage for kisses, farting's going to happen. And the other thing that you might want to consider too is that you don't have to consider this. I'm just letting you know this happens to me. It might happen to you. When my body gets turned on, it gets lubricated everywhere. So my nose runs. So when my nose runs, I'm usually like, okay, I'm going to need to have my Kleenexes there. So I could, I'm riding like a pro and I'm grabbing Kleenex and wiping my nose and riding like a pro and oh, wait, honey, I got to grab a Kleenex again. And he's usually like, wow, this is a really good one for you. I'm like, yeah, this is a good one. My nose is really running. So it helps if you know that about your body, let the person know in advance. Otherwise they might be like, whoa. Sometimes when you're really in it and you can't grab the Kleenex, I've just buried my face into pillow, change the pillowcase later and be like, Mike, this is a good one, but I'm going to have to hide my face because I am schnottball right now. It's not so cute. He thinks it's funny, but it's only so, sometimes you're in the moment of the heat of the moment, and laughing might kind of take away from it. So sometimes you just might want to do a little sidetracking for a minute and just get the job. It's not really a job, but get that pleasure on, So, bodies. I love bodies, and they're so funny. So got peeing, pooping, farting, and snot probably coming out. God knows what else your bodies are going to do. They do stuff. Sweat. They smell sometimes, Sometimes when I get really turned on, I smell skunky, which is odd. You would think you'd like to smell attractive, but my pheromones go out that freaking roof, and I'm like, I actually like my skunky smell. Luckily, so does my lover, but not for many other people. My mom will be like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, a little turned on today. I kind of smell skunky. Just saying." Ziva will get near me and she's like, "Holy mommy, what's going on?" If I've been in creating mode and all that like sexual energy is like busting out loose and I'm creating stuff or I'm horny or whatever, well, I got a stink on me that's really something. Also doing a lot of energy work, I get this interesting stink on me. Isn't that fun? It's adorable. So, if you happen to be a little smelly, and the person you're with is like, "Oh my God, you smell," ask if your body is going to be received by that body, because, that rejection thing could be showing up. The person might actually not like your body or the smell of your body. So that can be true, and sometimes you are projecting. So just checking on that, like, is it them, is it me, whatever, what is this? Okay, so other funny things that can happen to bodies. I actually heard this from a doctor, and I don't remember what it's called, but you guys can look it up. You know how they say guys get blue-balled? Well, apparently guys can get blue-balled. It's like a congestion in the body, just like a buildup. It can create scar tissue and stuff, but also women can get there's a similar thing that happens with women who are not having orgasms during sex, and there's a buildup, and then there's like a scar tissue thing that happens, like can actually create some stuff in the body. I'll see if I can find the name of that somewhere. But so, the fear of being blue-balled, men and women, like not having the orgasm that leaves your body kind of stressed out. If you don't make the orgasm significant and you're willing just to have fun, chances are your body will release a lot of that energy anyway. But if you're really like holding on to the necessity of it, the importance of it, making it super significant, then you may stick your body with some stuff like that, like pressure in the body. So the other one before we leave, which is hilarious, have you ever heard of like guys going, "Don't kick me in the nuts, don't kick me, you're gonna get like you're going to don't break my balls, don't break my penis." I actually knew a guy in high school. My friend kicked him in the nuts. They were like in grade 5 or 6. I didn't know them in grade 5 or 6. I knew them in high school. And she had kicked a guy in the nuts, and he, at the age of like 10 or 11, had so much scar tissue in his testicles that his balls were literally like broken, and he had to have them scraped out. OMG. So these things can happen. So fear of that. I'm not trying to instill a fear of that, just being aware that, yes, be gentle with your body. And yes, penises can break. They can actually go on angles, like 90-degree angles. If you've ever seen a penis that's on like, a 30-40, it's got like a bend in it. Some guys have that happen as kids, riding bikes, and they might be trying to do the standing riding, and then they fall and slip and land on the bar and crunch right on the penis. It can actually create a bend in the penis. So, and if that does happen, get to the doctor right away. You can get it from aggressive sex in different places. Like if you're, having sex in awkward spaces and you're trying to do some kind of yoga that you've never done before, your body might have an adverse reaction to that. So be gentle with your bodies, people, because your bodies are your friends. They're your friends. And you know what? Whatever it is that you're afraid of, just know that, you can change it more than likely if you desire to, and you're a good lover to somebody, and start with you. That's really what I encourage you to do. Be your own favorite lover, and have an amazing week.
Thank you for choosing to listen to The Pleasure Zone. Milica Jelenic will return next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on a2zen.fm. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have the best week of your life by choosing to be turned on and tuned in to your body.